Now, the other bit of Warriors news that trickled out via The Athletic, Slater, Kawakami, the Plus Minus podcast, talking about potential options, right? That's what we're all thinking about now. And Slater said the Warriors would not be interested in Brandon Ingram. Maybe that's leverage, right? Like that's how I would play it. If I was Dunleavy, I'd be like, I don't really know about that dude, right? And then maybe come knocking on the Pels door when they're not getting the offers they want and be like, hey, we'll give you this. I mean, we're not tripping, but if you do want to move them, maybe that's the case. But I'm not surprised because like I said in last week's video, Brandon Ingram and Andrew Wiggins are cut from the same cloth. So I could see why they're not looking to add a player with those issues, right? But maybe the more interesting news was if Jimmy Butler is made available, the Warriors would be interested. I'm not with it. I think Jimmy is cooked. Covering the Heat runs. I've covered a lot of Heat games because for whatever reason, when the Heat make long runs, the Warriors don't. And I said it. I was like, yo, as admirable as this is for Jimmy Butler to drag his knee through the playoffs with these epic performances, I have no doubt in my mind this is shortening his career, or at least his prime. And he was out these playoffs, right? He's no longer how many games does he average a year, right? It's under 60. He's going to be 34 years old. And I think the issue is it's always the knee or the knees. I don't know if it's always the same one, but the knees are going on Jimmy. And so there's no way I would give up Kuminga or like the kitchen sink for a Jimmy Butler move. If you can somehow turn Chris Paul and Clay into Jimmy Butler and it's just some sort of like great deal, then fine. But I'm not coughing up first round picks and Kuminga and Moody and all this for a Jimmy Butler who is in a different phase of his career. Not doing it. Now, I think we all wouldn't mind trading or buying into the first round. It's always exciting to have a first round pick, and we don't have one this year, right? So I was looking around the league where they could get into the first round, and then I saw the news that the Jazz are looking to shop their first round picks. They've got 3 picks. They've got 10, 29, and 32. And they're looking for more polished players. They've got enough young guys that they have to develop. So they're willing to trade, I don't know, all of them, one of them, get one of those picks. So I've circled the Jazz as one of the teams that, hey, like Moses Moody, and for, I don't know the value. It's hard to say. Would that be for the 29th pick? Could you get the 10th pick for Moody? And I don't know, right? But the Jazz are a team. Let's just say somehow we got the 29th pick off of them. You know, that now you're talking, where is Zach Edey going to go? Edey, Flipkowski from Duke. There are some bigs in this draft. I don't know if you could get him at 29 because I'm very curious to see now with the resurgence of the value of the big man of the center position, essentially, I feel like these bigs are going to come off the board earlier than we've typically seen in the last 10 years. Like I saw a report today, Isaiah Hartenstein may get $100 million. Like think about that for a second. Like that same performance he had in these playoffs 5 years ago would have resulted in like a Looney type deal, right? And so that also you have to take into equation, I think, the market in trades. When we're going to trade for, did you see that Mitchell Robinson suggested Bleacher Report trade? We trade like Moody, GP2, first round pick, to New York for Mitchell Rob. Like these bigs, I think the price tag is raising on them. And so you may want to snag one in the draft. And so obviously we're going to talk more trades, draft, and all that stuff coming up here, especially when the finals is over. And a team that everyone has circled that is having a garage sale. I don't know if you want to call it a sale, but is open for business is the Atlanta Hawks, especially now that they got the number 1 pick. I've already made my case for DeJounte Murray. One move I would be willing to go all in for is throw Clint Capella into that. DeJounte and Clint Capella is a move I would be willing to go all in for. And what it would look like, it would look something like Wiggins, Kuminga, GP2, and probably a pick. Now, you might have to add Guy Santos or one of these. There'd be some filler, but you could make the salaries match, right? And so then potentially you could be looking at a lineup. Let's say Clay does take a fair deal here of Steph, DeJounte, Clay, Draymond, and Clint, right? And then your bench is Trace, Pods, Mood, Loon, and probably some vets that you could pick up. Would y'all sign Gordon Hayward? I know he seems like he's maybe out on the league, but what if you could get Gordon Hayward for the vet min? Maybe you could get some sort of Otto Porter season out of him, where he's like rejuvenated and just wants to finish his career on a good note. But yeah, if you could get Clint and DeJounte, I'd go all in. I think that would be, it's a risk. Any of these moves are a risk. I'm not saying it's a no-brainer. I know some of you are going to say, no. I want to keep JJK. But adding a true guy, true center, rim protector, lob threat, great hands, runs the floor, and I'd do it.